So again, good morning, everyone. Uh, Today we have Ayan on board. So I'm just take a walkthrough from his introduction. Ayan has a distinct passion for problem solving using data science, ML, AI, and loves to wear the cap of a tech speaker passionately. He has had multiple stints in the field of data science, AI, ML through various internships and actively contributes to the society by mentoring hackathons, boot camps. Till date, he has delivered 60 plus technical talks at international and national conferences, meetups in countries like India, USA, Ireland, Nigeria, Canada, Mexico, Japan, etc. With a mix of physical and virtual events, he also he also mentored 90 plus global and local hackathons organized by institutions like John Hopkins School of Medicine, University of Windsor School of Computer Science, University of London, Jawaharlal Nehru University, Delhi University, and lot many. Alongside this, he also the organizer of India's first Kaggle Days meetup in Delhi NCR and loves to review technical books too. So today, Ayan is there to discuss about things you should know about the data science and internship. Over to you, Ayan. Thank you and welcome in the webinar.
Thank you, Baljinder, for the warm welcome, and I welcome you all. I hope you folks are doing well, and have got vaccinated. So, like today, our agenda would be towards like the things that you should know, like while we are hunting for data science internships as a student, or we are trying to upskill ourselves in the field of data science, and we always try to get a real world exposure that okay, how does this thing actually works, or how is the industry actually utilizing the potential of data science, or what are some of the projects, or what does actually interns do. Like this varies a lot as per the organization's maturity in utilizing data science, but today we will be getting a brief idea about what I did in my internships, and I will discuss the agenda of today as we go in the next few slides. But just to set the base, it's like you would be getting certain suggestions, certain learnings from this session around like the things that you should keep in mind while you are searching for data science internships, or in case you are trying to upskill yourself and you are finding certain guidance around what does actually a data science internship looks like, or where does my skill set aligns to the data science internships available in the industry. So this is just a short intro. Like, thanks to Baljinder for the warm welcome. And I'm currently an executive data scientist at Nielsen IQ, and like have been mentoring and delivering certain technical talks. And I also brought a community that's called Kaggle Days Meetup in Delhi NCR. So like have been learning and have been exploring the domain of data science and machine learning with the community itself. And today's agenda would be like, first of all, my journey as an intern with three organizations, so that you could also relate that, okay, if I get into certain company as a data science intern, what would be what are certain kind of tasks that an intern gets, or what are the things that usually the interns work in an organization as a data science intern. And then my learnings, because while I was interning at various organizations, I also got certain learnings which you might also utilize in your days to come, or in your preparation strategies. And then as we move towards the end of the session, we will focus on the three questions of data science internships. It's like these three questions serve the base for the guidance that a student actually wants from, like wants in order to crack certain internships, or want to decipher what actually this data science internship domain is all about. So we will cover the what, why and how. So like these three questions would definitely matter, and will help you to get an idea that okay, these are the things that I now know, that what actually a data science internship looks like, and why should we do data science internships, and how can we land certain data science internships. So like three parts that would be of core importance to you. And before and prior to that, we will discuss like my journey, so that you could relate the tasks and you could get an idea, and then the from those tasks what were my learnings. And then a bonus like how to rock your next whiteboard interview for internships. It's like why I try to put this bonus into this session. It was like because the world is opening a little by little, so there are chances that in the next internship interview that you would be going, there are high chance that you would be called for a whiteboard interview, or like not, this doesn't happen at all organizations, but definitely it's very good to be prepared for a whiteboard interview at the first place itself, so that even when you go for job hunting in a full-time role, you would also not be facing any certain difficulties around that. So this would summarize what we would be discussing today in the time to come in today's session. And like starting with my journey as an intern with three organizations, it's uh, like I interned at variety of organizations. Like I would say the domain of the organizations were a little bit different from each other, and one of my goal behind picking certain different organizations of different domains was to understand that okay, how actually data science is being used in certain domain as such. It's like the way data science is being used in healthcare is somewhat a little bit different from how data science is used in a fintech organization or in a core analytical organization, right? So like you have the application of data science being varied as you change the organizations or as you change the domain in which the organization is working. So my first internship was in a Bangalore-based startup. It is called Mate Labs. So that's a core, like I would say, that's a core analytical kind of company. They have a product around demand forecasting and kind of stuff that's called Mateverse. So like this was a startup where I was a summer intern, and like the most of the like my interest behind coming to this organization as an intern was to understand okay how actually an analytical organization works, and how does an intern fits into their architecture or fits into their ecosystem of working around data science. So I worked there as an intern from July 2019 to August 2019, and most of the times it was my responsibility was exploring the domain around AutoML. So you might have heard about AutoML. So like not very, I was not involved into very core stuffs. It's like because you are an intern, you are made to learn, you are made to being part of certain decision making processes that the organization takes. So being an intern, you would definitely get a good hands on around what actually this domain of AutoML was. I got an idea about what AutoML was and how does this thing actually works. And then I also practiced or also got some assignments of working on real world use cases. Like most of the times it was around time series. Like the organization works heavily around demand forecasting and time series analysis. So I got to get an idea about how does this like things that we study, LSTNs, RNNs, we have like ARIMA models and all those kind of time series based models. Like as you explore the domain of data science and machine learning, you would come across a terminology that's time series, and inside that you have certain splits that may be around ARIMA, SARIMA, LSTMs, RNS. Like you get to use a lot of algorithms in those aspects. But my learnings or my journey at MateLabs was to explore how actually these algorithms turn into a real world uh, like they turn into a real world application. So I try to utilize these knowledge of mine around making certain demand forecasting algorithms or kind of stuff. And I also participated into in-house Kaggle competitions to like, and also develop some content for use cases. Like the use cases on which you work, you definitely try to develop the content around that to like, this is how we approached, or this was our approach. So that was my first internship around the domain of data science. Then like because this internship was core into an analytical company, analytical startup, but the next was like in a finance based organization which majorly works around the financial aspects. Like this was Lulu International Exchange, that's an organization in Abu Dhabi. So that was a remote internship for me, and I tried to do an internship for around 1 year. That's January 2020 to January 2021. And like my major task here was to like build a dashboard which would forecast the corridor wise requirements for business corridors. Like when I'm talking about business corridors, it's like this organization operates in a lot of Arab countries, right? So like maybe they operate in Qatar, they operate in Oman, they operate in Dubai, and all such countries, and they also operate in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and kind of stuff. So it's like you want to forecast the demand, like you want to forecast that how much money should I keep. Like, just to give you an idea about what does this business actually does, this is into remittance. Like, people send money from India to Dubai or India to Bangladesh, kind of stuff. So like they do this kind of a remittance, and just to transfer the money. So in order to make sure that this transfer of money is smooth, so like we need to understand that how much money should I park in my bank account, so that all the transactions could go well, could go smoothly. So we want to predict how much money should we put in a specific corridor, what would be the corridor wise requirements, and that was displayed in a dashboard kind of stuff. That was my major task. And then it was like, because this organization is a kind of MNC, so it's like they have operations in certain countries, the volume of data was too huge. So I tried to got an idea about how we could utilize the power of time series and demand forecasting kind of stuff with the help of big data, and like how could I utilize these things. So it's like you could see a variety of things coming in. So first it was analytical organization where I only studied, or where I only get to know about auto ML a little bit, and then demand forecasting. But in Lulu International Exchange, the like data science intern, I try to push my boundaries around time series forecasting with the fusion of big data. So that was my responsibility, and this was my last internship during my BTech days. So like as soon as I left Lulu International Exchange as a data science intern, I joined the organization that's called Internshala. So might be a lot of students have heard about this name, because this is a platform which helps you to get internships. Like you can go to internshala.com and you could check, like, okay, as per the location, as per the skill sets that you get a list of certain internships which is available. So I was around 6 months intern at this organization, and this is again around education technology, right? This is around edtech. So first was analytical, core analytical, second was fintech, and third was edtech. And here I worked majorly on the A/B testing of platforms. It's like Intentionala has its website, Intentionala has its mobile application. So every time they try to do certain changes on the platform, like, okay, if we do this change, or if we try to position the call to action button at the top or call to action button at the bottom, kind of stuff, how does this actually reflect a change in the like in the overall sign up rates or kind of stuff. So like I was trying to do a AB testing. So what is AB testing? AB testing is actually like you have two versions. One version is A, one version is B. B version is a little bit different from A. The content is same, but definitely like there are some design changes, there are some positioning changes. And with the help of data science, you could analyze that, okay, like if I did this change in the B, like in the B version of the website or B version of the app, how is it contributing to an increase in the downloads, how is it increase like how is it leading to an increase in the signups. So I tried to do that. It was core statistical kind of methodology that was being used. And then also I tried to do certain campaign analysis, like intentionally tries to send certain email campaigns, they try to send certain notifications as a part of their campaigns. So how does that campaign performs, or is that campaign actually contributing to the like contributing to the performance, or like contributing to the success measures that we have set. So we try to like gauge that performance. So this was my journey around like the various internships that I had around data science, like, and the organizations analytical. You could understand that, okay, the same data science stuff as being used in certain different organizations is a little bit different, and your jobs and responsibilities may vary, but that again, the base and the core always remains the same. And we will focus on the on what are the base that is being required in order to get a data science internship at the first place. And then my learnings as an intern, like I did three internships, and that's around like, let's say, 20 months of internship during my BTech. So it's like I graduated from my BTech in July 2021. So it's like in those 48 months, or 4 years of engineering, I tried to do around 20 months of internship around data science. But what were my actual biggest learnings that I could get as a part of internship, and which I would have otherwise missed if I was just learning on my own, or if I didn't had the opportunity to crack certain internships, if I would not have got that opportunity to do internship, I would have definitely missed out on the learnings as mentioned here. So it's like always it's like you cannot be completely reliant on the data science courses that you do. It's like you have certain courses on Coursera, EDX, a lot of platforms are there, like massive online open courses where you could go and do and pursue certain data science based courses. But it's like my learnings was like as I was going into internships, it's like as I made certain self projects priorly, it's like because I had certain self projects being made, that definitely helped me. So it's like whenever you are doing certain courses, whenever you are trying to do certain enrollments in certain courses, definitely make sure that apart from the things that you're studying in that course, try to utilize those learnings around making a self project. That would definitely help you to make or to help you in your data science internship journeys. And then again, like while we are exploring or while we are trying to do the things that we are being taught in the courses of, let's say, introduction to machine learning on Coursera, we try to utilize only a specific tool, like let's say Jupyter Notebook or kind of stuff. But when you get to work in a real world environment, when you get to work with a team in a real world setup where you have to deliver something to the industry, it's like not only Jupyter Notebook works, it's like you also need to have, or you need to be fluent with the usage of Visual Studio Code and kind of code editors too, because in real world it would be like you make a function which contains the data science logic, which contains the machine learning logic. You need to make the functions, you need to structure those things, you need to make a class kind of stuff. And that is usually being done with the help of Visual Studio Code and the code editors. That's again my learning. Otherwise, prior to that, before internships, I was only using Jupyter Notebook and was not that much fluent with Visual Studio Codes and other stuff. So definitely you could think that okay, like you would be getting a hands-on with Visual Studio Codes and certain related code editors too. And it's like while I was doing my self projects, I used to apply the complex and the complex algorithms that I've thought of, or complex methodologies that I could think of. But in industry, after working as an intern, I got to know that okay, you need to keep your code simple, you need to go keep your approach simple so that it's maintainable. It's like you could understand the things, you could decipher the things even after 6 months, 7 months of coding that. So it's like try to make the code simple, and like your code should be readable kind of stuff. And try to document the things, because there are high chance that the things that you take, the approaches that you take while doing a data science based task in an internship, might be after few months you will be forgetting it due to the workload or other stuff. So try to document the things, like okay, for this problem statement I got I took this approach, or for this problem statement this was my logic. And again, the fifth learning of mine was the readability of your code. So it's like your code should be readable, and it's not that you have stuffed all the things together into one very complex thing, and you are telling that okay, this is working, but even after 1 year you could not decipher that okay, what does this actually mean. So why I'm mentioning these learnings is like this will help you to prepare your candidature before even you apply to internships, right? Because in case you have self projects, you could work around these stuffs in your self projects too. That would help you to make your candidature strong while you are applying for certain internships. So all the learnings mentioned here would definitely be of use, which you can put up into your self projects, which you could add in your self projects. And when you actually apply for an internship, you would be considered as a strong candidate, because you have shown certain skill sets, you have shown certain initiatives which actually the students, or which actually the folks in the industry show after 6 to 7 months being into that organization. And then focus on modularizing your code. It's like include the functions. Don't make the code, or don't make the data science logic too big. Try to break that logic into certain functions classes. That would help you. And again, be attentive and curious. It's like whatever problem statements you get, whatever things you're working on, definitely try to always make sure that you are curious about why does this thing happens, or try to research around that okay, why is, if this thing is happening, why is it so, like why is it what we are doing, or how are we doing it. So try to be curious and innovative. And like because you are in a data science internship setup, so like you have industry folks, try to network with them. try to talk, try to understand how does their daily job looks like, so that you could also prepare yourself for the future time or the future job role as a data scientist. Then don't stress out. And like being an intern, you are not expected to know everything at one place. So like multiple students fear that, okay, I don't know a lot of things, or I don't know how should I go ahead, or I don't know these things, like am I suitable candidate or not. So it's that interns are not required to know everything, but definitely like if you have good amount of knowledge to at least kickstart your data science journey, definitely go ahead and apply. You never know that you get an opportunity, and once you are into real world setup, you will learn more by getting hands dirty. And then be grateful and reward yourself that, okay, like I have worked hard and I have got an internship for myself. So be happy and be grateful for that. And like those were my learnings, and that those were my journey around the data science internships that I had. And it's like next would be the what of data science internships. Like what do we actually require, or like whenever a student is looking for certain data science internships, what does like what does actually a student needs to know, and for before applying to certain data science internships, you would definitely understand that. And when like just to start from an industry perspective, it's like when you see certain data science internships in the industry or on LinkedIn or Internshala, you would see that there's a variety of jobs, like variety of skills being required in a data science internships. Like might be one organization is asking for too much of core technical knowledge. One is asking for, okay, you need to be a little bit fluent, and rest we will make sure that you learn along the way. So it's like it depends from company to company and the maturity level of those companies around data science. And it's like I have tried to divide the certain data science internship opportunities that you have in the industry into three aspects. So like you could see like the three colors that you see, like green, yellow, and red. It's like these doesn't the colors doesn't makes much sense. So it's like just to categorize them. It's like one category is the green color, and the next category is yellow, and the next category is red. Okay, so it's like you need to divide the variety of interns. Like you need to know that, okay, what are the variety of data science internships out there in the industry, and as per my skill set, as per my experience, where do I actually fit in. So first would be the entry level internships. It's like the students who are just in their second year or third year of BTech course. Like just to give an example, like the students who are just in fresh into college, like 1 or 2 years into the college, the entry level internships are definitely for them in data science. It's like what does those kind of internships actually look out for. They look out for, like, if you have a basic knowledge of Python, basic knowledge of OOPS and file systems. I'm not talking about like core data structure and algorithms kind of thing. It's like if you have a basic knowledge of how Python works, how this classes and function works, how does this file system works, and you have a little bit of knowledge around NumPy, Pandas, and data visualization libraries. It's like how do we actually make a scatter plot? How do we make a bar chart? How do we make a pie chart? If you have a very basic knowledge, I'm not talking that you have very core projects around those libraries, or you have a very core project around OOPS or file systems. I'm not talking about that. Very basic level, as the things you have been taught in college, and little bit efforts that you have put by enrolling in certain courses and have tried to make certain projects. The entry level internships are definitely a good way to start. It's like this sets your base, this sets your uh, like skill set for the way for the above level of internships that you have. Why I'm trying to decipher, or why I've tried to divide those internships in the industry in data science domain into three. It's like just so that you could target that level of internship in the first place. So most of the times, the students who are starting, they focus with entry level internships. And if you have the knowledge of scraping, NumPy, Pandas, it's not that you need to have a knowledge of all at the same time, but definitely a basic knowledge of these things would help. And high level overview, like, okay, what does clustering means, what does regression means, what does where do we actually use it, kind of. If you have even have the theoretical knowledge around that, that would be more than enough for entry level internships. Then you have few, like, you work around like data science projects. You try to understand it, okay, how this data pre-processing works, or you try to do certain data visualization, you try to explore the data, like that's called exploratory data analysis. You are more than fit for entry level internships. But in case you think that you have already done this kind of internships, or You think that I could work on my skills a little bit more and then try to bag an internship, then definitely in a 4 year course, definitely when you are in third year or fourth year, then you can go for middle level internships. When I'm talking about middle level internships, it's like when you have a little bit of good, like more sound knowledge. Like while in entry level internship, it's like you have only have a basic level knowledge, but it's very tough to get entry level internships because the organizations now are starting their internship requirements from middle level and the advanced level that we would discuss. So like most of the times, 60 to 70% of the times when you're searching for internships, you would see that you need to satisfy the things that's being mentioned, that I have mentioned in the requirements for middle level internships. It's like you need to have a sound knowledge of data science concepts, like why do we actually utilize these concepts, or where do we actually utilize this concept, or how do we actually utilize this concept. So you need to have a sound knowledge around that. And then you need to have a good knowledge of like ML algorithms, and how do we decide on certain ML algorithms. Like let's say if we have a logic of cost function, if we have a logic of gradient descent in certain algorithms, how are we coming to that? What's the mathematical background? I'm not speaking that you need to know the formula or you need to know the derivation, but definitely you need to know that okay, I am trying to do this, or we are trying to utilize this machine learning approach that is based on this statistical methodology. And then you need to have a brush up your skills on probability and statistics, and then SQL too. And then if you have a little bit of good knowledge around deep learning concepts, that's okay to go. But for mid level internships, you should have a good knowledge of machine learning algorithms. And if you have projects around the algorithms, that would be really a great support for your candidature. Then do self projects around machine learning algorithms. Here it's not that you need to have a very core knowledge of API development, deep learning concepts, but definitely if you have a good, like little bit of knowledge, then you would be more than a fit for mid level internships in data science domain. And then you have advanced level internships. It's like when the internships are very like domain specific, like let's say computer vision, natural language processing, or you are very working closely with the data science team heads kind of stuff. Those kind of internships are kind of ideal before you're actually graduating from your college, because that would also help you to get a pre-placement offer from that organization, and you could directly get a job opportunity. So it's like, but here the thing is, for these kind of internships, because these are advanced level data science internships, it's like you need to have a specialized domain of expertise like computer vision. You need to have a specialized domain of expertise like computer vision or natural language processing. Like you need to have certain projects around these domains as such. This will help you to strengthen your candidature. This will help you to make your candidature more strong. But this is again not for the students who are just starting. But definitely if you have been into this data science domain, or you have done at least one middle level internship, then you are the best fit for advanced level internships. So my preference would be start with the mid level internships, because the requirements are not too much strong. It's like you could definitely satisfy the requirements by doing certain self projects around machine learning and other stuff. But once you have gained the confidence, it's like you can definitely try for sharpening your skills in a specific domain like computer vision as such. And then you could also talk about basic knowledge of Docker, cloud, like that's good to have. Like that's not, you definitely need to have, but that's like if you have time, if you want to explore, you could definitely do that by watching certain YouTube tutorials kind of stuff. But when we are searching for advanced level data science internships, you definitely have to have a very good portfolio around projects using complex deep learning concepts, because this would be where this is advanced level so it's like when we are working around advanced level internships, it's like you have to have a good amount of projects around complexity of deep learning or machine learning, that would help you to set yourself or set your candidature apart from others. Because the more skill sets you show, the more variety of skills that you show through projects, that would be helpful for you. And why do we actually need this? Because these are a little bit more advanced, and this aligns to being getting a job role around data science. So the companies try to make their hiring like hiring benchmark a little bit higher when they come to advanced level internships, because they also come with PPO. So they want that, okay, if the student performs well during the advanced level internship, we could also offer them the full-time data science position. So that's why the requirements are a little bit higher. But my preference would be start with the requirements, or start satisfying the requirements of a middle level internship, and 60 to 70% of the times you would be your candidature would be fit for these level of internships. And then it was like the what does this actually the industry requires, what is the requirements for a certain level of data science internships in the industry. I hope you got an idea that, okay. And how would this help you? It's like, because now you have a little bit of differentiation amongst the various level of internships in data science domain. Like you have the skill sets being required, you could target those kind of internships, or you could target like middle level of internships at the first place, because you could satisfy the requirements of a mid level internship if you have like, let's say, if you have put in around 3 to 4 months of efforts into data science domain. Then we have, why do we actually need to do data science internships? It's like, okay, now I understand that Ion's journey and Ion's learning, and then what are the various types of data science internships, what are the various requirements for various type of internships, various data science internships. Then why should we actually do data science internships? It's like, first of all, the industry that you're seeing today, whenever you open LinkedIn, whenever you open certain social media platforms, you would see that most of the times the organizations requires you to have an experience, that they tell that a student who is just graduate needs to have an experience, or most of the job openings have a line that preference would be given to a little bit more experienced folks, like 1 to 2 years. How do we actually get that? It's like with the help of internship. So that's the first answer to why do we actually need a data science internship, in order to get your hands dirty and in order to get an experience around that. And how, what are the few more things that you get while working as a data science intern at certain organization? It's like, while you are making self projects, the data sets that you use in those projects are too clean, or like the data sets being used in self projects are too structured. But when it comes to real world, there are high chance that you would be dealing with messy, unstructured, and incomplete data, because in real world there are a good amount of chance that there are some like operational issues that comes in, and the data becomes incomplete, or the data becomes unstructured, or the data is too much messy to work with. So when you work in a data science intern setup, so you would definitely learn to understand the importance of dealing with these kind of unstructured messy data. And then you will learn how to experiment and learn new things. It's like, because you are working in an industry setup, maybe as per the project requirements of the organization, you would be allotted certain new features to work on, and that would help you to learn new things. Because, like, let's say, when I started my data science journey, I was not like, I didn't have much knowledge of cloud or kind of stuff. But because while I was working in an internship, they told that, okay, like, now we have a data science model in place, we should try to put this model into cloud, or we should deploy this model. So while being a data science intern, you try to get the guidance, and you also learn new things which you would have otherwise not learned if you were making self projects. Because in self projects, it's like, I learned the data science algorithm, I try to make a project, and that's it. But in data science internship kind of setup, there are high chance, because they would try to uh, operationalize that project, like they will try to bring that project into real world. That would also require certain other things, starting from software engineering, cloud computing, all other stuff. So you will learn a lot of things, and then you will understand that, okay, how does actually a pipeline of a data science application in real world looks like. So, like, when we are talking about Flipkart's recommendation model, when we are talking about Amazon's recommendation model, how does these work, or what are the various steps that's being taken care of while making those data science applications. You will understand that, because you are now able to see a end-to-end picture, that, okay, how does this end-to-end process works. And because you would be working with the in a data science team, you would definitely have your manager, you would have directors of data science, head of data science. So you could easily network with them, that, okay, I need guidance on this, I need help on this, like, okay, I am stuck here, what should be my next step, kind of stuff. You could definitely network with them and learn. That's one of the biggest thing that you get while doing a data science internship. And then you also understand that how should I work under pressure, or like how to deliver in tough deadlines, because when you are working in an industry setup, maybe there are instances where you have to deliver something in a tough deadline. So it's like you will have to work around those steps, and all the factors that's mentioned in the bullet points, like the 5 bullet points being mentioned here, will definitely help you to strengthen your skill sets, will strengthen your candidature when you try to enter the industry as a data scientist or in a full-time role. And most importantly, you will be making like-minded friends. Like when you are in a data science internship role, you would definitely try to network with people, or network with folks who are working in that domain. And they will then, you like, now you also get certain stipend. You would be happy, more than happy to throw a like you will try to party, or you will try to enjoy whatever you have achieved, because like while you're putting efforts, if you reward yourself, that would be definitely a good experience for you. So this was again my, like, why should a student do internship, that this is a LinkedIn post that I did. It's like, why do I actually do data science internships? It's like, I try to network, I try to learn from future data, like I try to learn from the data scientist who looks like a future Ion, right? Like a future of yourself. You could ask them that, okay, what are the learnings, what are the weaknesses that you feel should be worked upon. You could get a lot of learnings from them, and that's where the actual potential of doing a data science internship lies. And then we covered the what are the various requirements of certain data science internships. We covered why should a student do data science internships, and my journey and my learnings. But actually, how do we get data science internships? It's like, we know all those stuff. Now I satisfy the requirements. I also understand that why should I do a data science internship, but how do I get one? So like, most of the times, it's like, you go to the, like, you go to the careers page, you fill the resume, or like you upload your resume, then again they tell you that, okay, try to enter all the details again, like the things that you have mentioned in resume, they are asking you to again enter those details. So this is one way of doing, like, upload your resume on the careers page of a website, and then sometimes, if the organization doesn't have a great extraction process from your resume, like if you, some organizations nowadays have this technology, like if you upload a resume, they will extract all the details, like education, the projects, the skill sets, and they will try to get the keywords out of that. But in case the organizations don't have, then you have to again fill those information in the form, right? But that's a old school process. But now there are various other ways of applying for certain internships, and I have mentioned here. It's like, I have tried to mention the pointers that seemed feasible for me. It's like, which is the process where actually most of the internship hirings takes place. And I've also marked the methods in green which worked for me. It's like, you could see LinkedIn jobs. It's like, I have applied for internship through LinkedIn jobs. I got that internship, and then you have a website called angel.co. Angel.co has a good amount of internship from startups that definitely worked for me. Intentional, like I tried to apply, but like, like maybe a lot of students get internship from Internshala, but that's a good platform. But it's like, because I had already got an internship after doing one or two applications on Internshala, so I didn't put much efforts into applying on Internshala after that. But like, you could definitely explore that area too. And then we have the organization's careers page. It's like, you go to, like, you target the companies where you want to work. You go to their careers page. You try to see the current openings. You try to understand that, okay, if I'm meeting the requirements, and that definitely works. Like maybe it takes a little bit longer, but definitely it works. But the things that have never worked for me, it's like, commenting interest. Like, I see a lot of students or a lot of professionals commenting on someone's LinkedIn post that, hey, come, I am interested. It's like how, if there are two openings, there are 100 200 plus comments. Even I have seen that, people try to comment interested just by the thinking that, okay, if I write interested, the person who has posted would definitely get back to me. So that has not worked for me, and not worked for my friends too. So like I would not suggest that at the first point, but definitely there are cases where some things work in your favor. But then again, there are career and internship fairs. It's like due to pandemic, all things have been like most of them have been uh, not organized, but definitely you have certain career fairs and internship fairs where you could try to participate and check. And then the last and most best way of getting an internship is by winning hackathons. It's like most of the companies nowadays try to organize hackathons. Like let's say Walmart conducted a hackathon, Intuit conducted a hackathon, or like let's say certain organizations conduct a hackathon, and the winners who come up in that hackathon are rewarded as well as given opportunity to interview for certain roles at that organization. So these are the various avenues where you could search for data science internships, and there are high chance that you would get one. And it's like my preference in the initial days when I was in my second year, third year of college. My initial approach was to ask for reference that hey, like I used to drop a mail or I used to drop a message to someone on LinkedIn that hey, I am interested into this opening of this data science position in your organization. I'm interested. Could you please refer me? So it's like I tried to do that. That worked. Like someone was kind enough to refer me. But one thing that I learned later was the power of cold emailing. So it's like you write just a cold email to even the not asking for referrals. It's like just to just to understand that okay, what does the data science team is working, how like how is the data science team distributed, or kind of stuff. You start a you kickstart a conversation by sending a cold email, and as you make networks with certain people to whom you cold email, then if any opening comes into their organization, then definitely you can reach out to them that okay, now I'm more interested, like because I have discussed with you that how data science is being used in your organization and I am interested to work with you folks. So like here is my interest of applying in this application. So these are the two approaches that I take majorly. And then how to rock your next whiteboard interviews. It's like maybe as we are opening the offices, like in the next 6 months or 7 months, when the next internship hiring season comes again, there are high chance that you would be called for an interview in an office. So it's like what are the key things that you should keep in mind while doing a whiteboard interview? It's like always start from the top left corner, because when you start from the top left corner, you would be getting a little bit more uh, space for structuring your ideas and thoughts. Like let's say you have certain ideas, you have certain thoughts which you want the interviewer to walk through. So it's like you when you start from the top left, the things would be more structured and you could organize things better. So whenever you are given a like whenever you are invited to a whiteboard interview setup, definitely like let's say definitely try from the top left corner, and then leave a blank line between each line of your code. Why are we telling it? So it's like let's say someone tells you that okay, tell me your approach, or write the pseudocode for doing a linear regression kind of stuff. So like always try to leave a little bit of line between each line of code, right? So like maybe a small space or small line between the two lines that you write, so that in case while you are iterating your process, maybe there are high chance that you missed some logic, you missed certain things, or you want to update certain things. So if you have left a blank line, you could definitely utilize that place to cover your things that you have previously missed. And then choose variable names wisely, because the way you choose your variable names also matters. Like maybe if you choose a variable name A B C, after 6 months you would not be able to understand it. Okay, what does this variable does? And whenever someone is asking a question in a whiteboard interview, always try to draw the things to get a clear picture that okay, this person is asking me this, or this person is telling me to solve this. If you try to make certain rough drawings of that, like there's a box or like let's say arrow kind of stuff, that would definitely help you to structure your thoughts. And then Like let's say if someone asks you after whiteboard interview, like you have coded, you have written the logic, and now you are making that person walk through that code or walk through that approach. So always try to write the value the variable contains. That would help the person sitting in front of you, who is an interviewer of yours. That would help them to understand that okay, this is how the flow is working, the variable value is now this, and because the variable value is this, it's working this way. And similarly, you could change the variable values and can give them an idea that okay, if we change the variable values, this is how our approach or logic would work. And then always speak out loud that whatever you are thinking, whatever logic you have, you are trying to build, because interviewer would definitely want to help you too. Like because like let's say you are approaching towards correct solution, but you are not completely there. But in case you are speaking it loud that okay, I will first do that, I will my first approach is this, second approach is this, there are good chance that interviewer might also help you that okay, what if we do this, maybe they will try to give you a hint so that you can solve the problem statement better. And then always listen carefully what does the interviewer is trying to say, because there are a good chance that they may try to help you, but because you are always speaking or you are too much confused or too much stressed that you are only speaking anything that's coming up in your mind, that won't work. Be patient, try to listen to what does the interviewer is actually telling. That would help you to get a good interview experience and to crack that internship interview too. And final warnings for data science internships are never pay for data science internship. It's like there is a new trend that's rising in the industry that organizations are asking from students that pay 5,000 and that's an internship. That's not. We always pay for trainings, not for the internships. It's like internships are always where you work and you try to contribute certain skills to the company's projects. The companies make try to make you learn certain things as per their requirements, and you get paid as a stipend. But when you are trying to learn something, when you are enrolled in a training, then only you pay, but not for an internship. So that's a warning while you are applying for data science internships. Like maybe like the process of getting an internship around data science a little bit daunting, but definitely if you put in your efforts of like let's say 3 to 6 months, you will definitely get an internship. And I hope this session was useful for you folks to at least get an internship around data science, or could set up the base for to structure your preparations for data science. And yeah, like that's all from my side, and I'm now open to questions. Thanks to Baljinder and the BitGrid team for giving me the opportunity to share my learnings and my journey around data science internships, which might be useful for you. And in case you have any questions, feedbacks, or anything like that, definitely let me know. Here are my mail ID, and you could connect with me on LinkedIn and Telegram with the username IonRide2000. Thanks.
Thank you, Anne. If anybody have any questions regarding any opportunity they are looking forward or anything, how to do the process and everything, please feel free to ask.
And like maybe us two students would ask that okay, how should I get the slides that's being used? Like you could like I'm putting a link there, from there you could directly download the slides for your future reference too. Thank you.
Anyone, please feel free to ask any question.
Or you could connect with me on LinkedIn at a later point. Like let's say you come up with certain things which you need to get covered, or certain doubts that come to you at later point, or you may want guidance at that point of time. You could reach out to me on LinkedIn.
I think that would be the better option, as you shared your LinkedIn profile link as well and email ID. And just, yeah, I think we are good to go. Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah.
So thank you once again, Ayan. Definitely we'll meet.
Yeah,
And
sure.
yeah, thank you very much for other delegates as well to be patient and for your support. Have a great weekend for to everyone. Thank you, Ayan, once again. Have a
Thank
great
you.
week.
Yeah. Bye bye.